The death of a pope is a moment of profound significance for the Catholic Church. It marks not only the passing of a spiritual leader, but also the beginning of a centuries-old process to choose his successor. This process, known as the Papal Conclave, is a unique blend of spiritual discernment and institutional governance. It is a time of prayer, reflection, and ultimately decision-making for the College of Cardinals. Their task is, honestly, monumental to elect the next Bishop of Rome, the leader of over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. The conclave's importance extends far beyond the walls of the Vatican. The Pope is not simply a religious figurehead. He is a global leader, a voice on issues of peace, justice, and human dignity. The decisions made within the conclave reverberate throughout the world, influencing international relations, social justice movements, and the spiritual lives of millions. The weight of this responsibility is not lost on the cardinals who gather in Rome. They come from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and theological perspectives. Yet, they are united by their faith and their shared purpose to elect the man they believe God has chosen to lead the Church into the future. This is the essence of the Papal Conclave, a sacred duty steeped in tradition, yet constantly evolving to meet the needs of a changing world. The Papal Conclave, as we know it today, is the result of centuries of development and reform. In the early Church, the selection process was far less formal. Bishops in Rome were often chosen through a combination of acclamation by the local clergy and consent from the people. However, as the Church grew in size and influence, the need for a more structured approach became evident. One of the earliest milestones came in 1059, when Pope Nicholas II issued the papal bull. This document granted cardinal bishops the primary right to elect the Pope, a significant shift in power from secular rulers. Over the next century, further reforms were implemented, including the requirement of a two-thirds majority vote in 1179 and the first recorded use of the term conclave to describe the cardinal's secluded deliberations in 1241. The year 1274 marked a turning point with Pope Gregory X's papal bull. Prompted by the tumultuous 3-year vacancy following Pope Clement IV's death, Gregory X established strict rules for the conclave, including the physical confinement of the cardinals and limitations on their contact with the outside world. These measures, intended to prevent external interference and pressure, shaped the conclave's secretive nature for centuries to come. The following centuries witnessed further refinements. The 15th century saw the introduction of written ballots, while the 17th century standardized voting procedures. In the 20th century, significant steps were taken to eliminate secular influence, culminating in the abolition of the jus exclusivae, the right of certain Catholic monarchs to veto a papal candidate. Today, the conclave continues to evolve under the guidance of recent papal decrees. Modern procedures emphasize security, confidentiality, and the spiritual dimension of the election. While technology has replaced some traditional practices, the core principles of prayerful discernment and consensus building remain at the heart of this sacred process. The death or resignation of a pope triggers a period known as meaning the seat is vacant. This time is marked by specific rituals and procedures, overseen by the Camerlengo, a senior cardinal who acts as the interim administrator of the Church. One of the Camerlengo's first duties is to confirm the Pope's death, traditionally by gently tapping the pontiff's forehead 3 times while calling his baptismal name. Following the official confirmation, the fisherman's ring, a symbol of papal authority, is broken, and the papal seal is destroyed. These acts symbolize the end of the previous pontificate and the beginning of the transition to a new papacy. 9 days of mourning, known as Novendiales, follow, during which prayers are offered for the deceased Pope and for the guidance of the Holy Spirit in choosing his successor. As the Church enters the conclave period, cardinals from around the world converge on Rome. During the pre-conclave general congregations, they discussed the challenges facing the Church and the qualities needed in the next Pope. These meetings are honestly crucial for fostering dialogue and building consensus before the formal voting process begins. The conclave officially commences with the solemn entrance of the cardinal electors into the Sistine Chapel, their temporary home for the duration of the election. As the doors close behind them, the call extra omnes, meaning everyone else, out, rings out, signifying the cardinal's isolation from the outside world. Once inside, they swear an oath of secrecy and pledge to uphold the integrity of the conclave process. A mass, or for the election of the Roman pontiff, is celebrated, invoking God's grace and guidance as they embark on their sacred duty. While deeply rooted in tradition, the papal conclave has never been static. Throughout its history, the process has undergone numerous modifications, reflecting both internal church dynamics and the evolving world beyond the Vatican walls. These changes demonstrate a remarkable ability to adapt while preserving the essential character of this sacred election. One of the most notable evolutions concerns the conclave's legendary secrecy. In the past, cardinals endured austere conditions, with limited food and communication to prevent outside influence. While modern conclaves maintain strict confidentiality, the focus has shifted from physical isolation to technological safeguards. Electronic jamming devices, signal blocking, and rigorous security protocols now protect the cardinals' deliberations from external pressures and media scrutiny. The voting process has also undergone significant transformation. Early conclaves often involved informal discussions and even political maneuvering. The introduction of standardized ballots in the 15th century, formalized procedures in the 17th century, and the abolition of secular veto power in the 20th century have all contributed to a more transparent and independent election process. Perhaps the most visible change relates to the cardinals' accommodations. Gone are the days of makeshift cells and uncomfortable lodgings. Today, cardinals reside in the purpose-built Domus Sanctae Marthae, a comfortable hotel-like residence within the Vatican walls. This shift reflects a greater emphasis on the cardinals' well-being while still ensuring their separation from the outside world. These adaptations highlight the dynamic nature of the conclave. The Church recognizes the need to balance tradition with the demands of the modern world, ensuring that the process remains relevant and resistant to undue influence. The history of the Papal Conclave is replete with examples of its enduring relevance and adaptability. 3 conclaves in particular showcase the spectrum of challenges faced and overcome in electing a new pope. The longest conclave in 1268 to 1271, the unique setting of the 1799 to 1800 conclave in Venice and the relatively swift election of John Paul II in 1978. The 1268 conclave following the death of Pope Clement IV descended into a stalemate that lasted an unprecedented 3 years. The cardinals, divided by internal politics and external pressures, failed to reach a decision. Frustrated by the deadlock, the people of Viterbo, where the conclave was held, took drastic measures. They locked the cardinals in a crumbling palace, restricted their food supply, and even removed the roof, exposing them to the elements. This extreme pressure finally broke the impasse, leading to the election of Pope Gregory X. This experience, however, highlighted the need for clearer rules and a more efficient process, paving the way for significant reforms in the following century. In stark contrast to the confined setting of Viterbo, the 1799 conclave convened in Venice under extraordinary circumstances. The French occupation of Rome forced the cardinals to seek refuge elsewhere. This conclave, held in the midst of political upheaval and uncertainty, demonstrated the Church's ability to adapt to challenging situations. The election of Pope Pius VII, while ultimately a compromise candidate, provided much-needed stability during a turbulent period. The 1978 conclave, following the unexpected and brief pontificate of John Paul I, stands out for its efficiency and historic outcome. Within just 2 days, the cardinals elected Karol Wojtyla, a Polish cardinal, as Pope John Paul II, the first non-Italian pope in over 4 centuries. This election signaled a new era for the Church, one marked by a more global perspective and a renewed emphasis on evangelization. These 3 conclaves, each unique in its context and outcome, illustrate the enduring nature of the Papal Conclave. Whether facing political pressure, external threats, or internal divisions, the process has proven adaptable and resilient, capable of producing a new leader for the Catholic Church, even in the most challenging of times. The Papal Conclave stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Catholic Church. It is a tradition that has weathered centuries of change, adapting to new realities while preserving its core principles of prayer, discernment, and the guidance of the Holy Spirit. The conclave's evolution reflects the Church's own journey, navigating a complex world while remaining true to its fundamental mission. The reforms implemented over the centuries, from the standardization of voting procedures to the enhanced security measures, demonstrate a commitment to preserving the integrity and independence of this sacred process. As the Church looks to the future, the Papal Conclave will undoubtedly continue to evolve. The specific challenges of the 21st century, from globalization and secularization to the rise of new technologies, will inevitably shape the way popes are chosen in the years to come. Yet, the essential elements of the conclave, the gathering of cardinals, the prayerful discernment, the search for a leader who embodies the faith and vision of the Church, will remain central to this sacred tradition. The balance between continuity and change will be crucial in ensuring the conclave's continued relevance. The Church must remain open to adapting its practices to meet new challenges without compromising the core values that have sustained this institution for millennia. The Papal Conclave, a testament to both tradition and adaptability, stands as a powerful symbol of the Church's enduring legacy and its ongoing mission in the world.